The next thing he said, Apostle Oluchi, I need to prophesy to you. Bring her to the box. I say, me, publicly on this bus to come and receive what? So I wanted to just log out. He said, your husband's name is this and that. So I stopped to this person mentioning my name, my husband's name. He said, that's one thing with all of you. Proud people, because you are submitting to that popular man of God. You know, he talked, he said, and since you don't want to, you are rejecting the invites for the open prophecy. Everybody on this live stream, screenshot this message. If it does not happen, I'll drop my Bible and I cease to be a man of God. You will see her obituary April 2026.
So this is a testimony from Apostle Oluchi, and she'll be sharing her testimony of how God saved her from a fake prophet on TikTok, and how God also gave her 2 lands that she did not buy with her money, and how God made her son to be 1 year old. Come with me as we watch this testimony together of what God cannot do does not exist. If you are just joining us for the first time, you're welcome to the Christian Journey, your #1 channel for everything gospel. Please hit the subscribe button, like, drop a comment for us in the comment section, and share your own testimony. Let's watch this testimony together and be blessed.
Church, what God cannot do. Okay, my name is Apostle Oluchi. First, I want to thank God for my younger sister. She finished 2016, and we've been believing God for a job for her. In fact, if you check the Pray with Pastor Jerry, my prayer point there should be more than everybody's own, because I needed my siblings to be settled. And for 10 years, through someone whose name I don't want to mention, but a great personality, God gave her a job. This year, 3 weeks ago, she resumed at her place of assignment, and I judge this God faithful. My second testimony. I had this live stream on TikTok last year, and after my live stream, I was just checking on how my live stream went, and I just went on the streets of TikTok, and I saw, mistakenly clicked on a live stream that was going on. And I saw the man prophesying. I was like, let me leave this place. But before I left, the next thing he said, Apostle Oluchi, I need to prophesy to you. Bring her to the box. I say, me, publicly on this bus to come and receive what? So I wanted to just log out. He said, your husband's name is this and that. So I stopped to this person mentioning my name, my husband's name. He said, that's one thing with all of you. Proud people, because you are submitting to that popular man of God. You know, he talked, he said, and since you don't want to, you are rejecting the invites for the open prophecy. Everybody on this live stream, screenshot this message. If it does not happen, I'll drop my Bible and I cease to be a man of God. You will see her obituary April 2026. They don't know where we are coming from. So I said they will see whose obituary. He said block her, but screenshot it, so they blocked me.
So why will a prophet lay curse on somebody? If it's God that is giving you the instruction, you allow God do his work, and not you laying a curse on somebody. Let's be careful of all these prophets online. Let's continue with the testimony.
So I told my husband, I said, this man said that he will die 2026 April, because it's not me. So we prayed, and I mentioned it to God 1 or 2 times and forgot. In February, I think before I went for NSPPD, my husband and I wanted to go out. That morning after joining NSPPD prayer, Papa said, place your hand on the ground. Oh, earth. Of course, I prayed. I always do it. And so we went. When we were going out, I was still praying. I didn't know what was going on, but I was praying in the spirit. On our way, we were rushing to pick our son from school. And a school bus just stopped. Nothing stopped the bus. It was just gisting and parked at the middle of the road. So we matched brake. Here was a trailer coming with speed. This man was coming. He saw that if he tries to stop, he was going to crush us. He quickly moved his hand to the other side of the road. Thank God there was no car coming, so there were no casualty. I was just asking God. My son would have waited in school for his parent to come. And then one story would have just come. But for Eroy. Now, after that, we went for NSPPD, came back. I went to Streams of Joy Omaha for the conference. On the last day of February. I had a program at Millennium Park, and my husband dropped me off with the members of the ministry. On his way, he had an accident. It was God. When he showed me the video, I just shouted, Eroi. Because since you didn't get me and my husband on the first one, you now went for him. God delivered him too. So,
see, everybody should pray, pray.
I forgot about the man's prophecy. On the last day of March, my elder sister called me 2 minutes to NSPPD prayer. Oluchi, I will not bury you. I will not post this your picture. I said, sister, he said, I dream. I posted your pictures on Facebook crying that you died. I said, sister, that is the good health that is coming. But I knew where that was coming from. This was the last day of March, and the man said April. So I said, okay, thank you. The next day, 1st of April, I came for NSPPD Live, and I was lying down over there. I said, Lord, let my father speak. I want to hear. And Papa, that was that day. He prayed for 15 minutes with just the scriptures, calling different scriptures. And then he began to say, obituary, obituary. I said, okay, that's me. The next prayer came, and Papa said that they will not eat your meat. He was talking about the prophet. He was just talking. He said, your head will not be carried on the tray. I said, that is my word. I said, any prophet that wants my head to be carried on the tray like John the Baptist, his own head will be carried, not my own. Do you know from 1st April to 30th of April, there was no day Papa didn't reverse obituary. I said, oh God, it was me. And then something happened in April that would have just taken my life by 29th of April, but God didn't allow it. And here I am standing and saying, Lord, thank you.
This testimony is a pointer to us that every evil report concerning our lives can be reversed. We don't just have to keep quiet. We have to pray. We have to speak God's word into existence in our lives. Say, who saith a thing and it cometh to pass when the Lord God has not commanded it? No one. Let's continue the testimony.
Then my third testimony. April has passed. Oh, this is 31st May. Ademundu. Life is still coming to the glory of God. We've not even started. Hallelujah. To my third testimony, that miracle son that God gave to me is turning 3 tomorrow. And I told God, when he becomes 3, I will come back to say thank you. I saw his before and after picture. It can only be God. A boy that was born in such a way. And we've been waiting. The doctors, let's see. Nothing has ever happened to him. In fact, his strength is like the strength of 7 men. This was him at birth. And this is him at 3 years. It can only be a Roy. The woman that was called barren is now a mother of a joyful son.
Watching, your case is not different. God that has done it for her will also do your own. You are believing God for one testimony or the other, he will do yours. If she was caught barren for years and God has turned her story around, has changed her story around to give her a child, your own is not an exception. Let's continue with the testimony.
And now to my last testimony. Ewo! Hey! In fact, let me hold my peace. When I was pregnant with my son, a certain woman of God chatted me and said, I saw you pregnant. She didn't know I was pregnant. And she said, you had crisis with the pregnancy, but your father and the Lord fought for you and you testified. And then I was already going through crisis. I didn't tell her I was pregnant. She said, while you were testifying about your son, you were holding a brown envelope. So it's 2 testimonies. I said the brown envelope was for joy. I said, okay. So 2023, I gave birth. I didn't see brown envelope. 2024, I said, God, you showed her that I gave birth to a son. That was correct. I also want this one to be correct. Whatever the brown envelope is, I want to see. I started praying. I put it on the altar. Papa said, what you're saving up money to buy will be given to you as a gift. So I kept on, believing God. Last year, I took it personal. I said, God, the brown envelope has not come on. Because I need to show this brown envelope and thank you. And where we have our ministry, the hotel came up and said, quit notice. We would like you to leave. I said, where will I get a space? That day I came here and I was praying. I said, God, don't put us to shame as a ministry. And God directed me to somebody to go to. While I was lying down, the face of the person flashed. So I went to him. It's somebody I know when he was growing up too, a young man. So I said to him, hey, God sent me to you. We need a space to rent for a few years while we trust God to buy our own. He said, Mama, today like this, somebody just come and say, land there for that your area. I said, okay. He said I should go, that he will call me. 2 weeks later, he called me. He said, I've gone to see the land. It's in a good site. It's fine. Let me conclude. I will call you. So I was expecting the concluding to be that he has finalized the rentage and everything. So he came back and said, I've given them part payment. And in 2 weeks, I'll complete the payment. I still didn't answer. I said, maybe he's paying for the lease for the 5 years. So I came back. I said, but Roy, how go lease land when you supposed to give me land? I started praying. And then 2 weeks later again, he called me. He said, I've finished paying for the land. I said, okay, sir, how much are we going to pay you to lease the space since it's your place? He said, Mama, somebody will call you. And I waited. That morning, Papa said, before 6 p.m. Nigerian time. Yeah? I was eagerly waiting for the call. And then the young man called me. Are you Apostle Oluchi? I said, very well. He said, so person said I should give you land documents. I said, wait. For what? He said, I should give you this land, that the land is your own. So I called my husband. I said, I not like play. Call this guy and ask him what he was saying, because I don't understand. I don't want to shout, and after shouting, my shout will not be correct.
You see, when she said, I don't want to shout and my shout will not be correct, even Pastor Jerry could not help it but laugh, because we NSPPD and we understand, because when your testimony comes, you will shout. Let's continue with the testimony.
So he called the guy and the guy said, that's my gift to Mama. I've watched her do ministry under the rain, no canopy. I've seen her do ministry in her father's house. I've seen her suffer place to place. God said I should gift her the land. Here is the catch. He's a pastor and a businessman. He has a ministry that is using a hotel space. He handed the church to somebody. He didn't buy land for the people. But Roy told him, give her. He didn't buy the land before until God said, tell him. He bought that land and handed over the land. This is the brown envelope. It didn't end there. Somebody said, check Facebook. Somebody posted your name. I went. It's a man of God I met in a program in Abuja. And he just wrote, congratulations, Apostle Oluchi. I just gifted you a land in one of my estates in Abuja. Wow. So, excuse me. Let me introduce myself.
Give me a minute. Papa said it all. Papa said it all. Give me a minute. The testimonies have started. Oh yeah,
church. Give me a minute. My name is Apostle Oluchi Akuris. Property owner. That she didn't buy with her money. What I was believing God and saving money for. 2 landed properties that I didn't buy. A raw gave to me free of charge. What God cannot do, my Father, thank you. Everything you told me is coming to pass in my eyes. Thank you. Thank you for praying for me. Thank you for the access. Thank you for the things I can't say in the public. Thank you for Friday. Thank you. I know how I came. But I remember what you told me. I can't forget. 21st day of October 2021. I came to Umaya and you said to me, let's handle your childbearing. then we will enter your ministry. Papa, you told me on that altar, I will fast for you. Maybe you forgot it, but I didn't forget. You said, I will take 40 days and fast for you. You said, I will carry my child. 1 year later, the woman who had many miscarriages and stillbirth has a son. God didn't just give me a son, He gave me an enviable one. His growth is fast like He prophesied. I'm proud that I waited for him. Papa, you said after my childbearing that you will face my ministry. Look at me. This was not how I came. I came wounded. I was almost ending ministry. I thought there was nothing for me in ministry. Look at me. Are you not proud of what I'm becoming, Daddy? Today, my ministry is celebrating from last year May until now over 80 babies. From God is not barren. Because I connected to my source. Please don't stop, Father. Because of people like me and many others, that our destinies are tied. I had a podcast last week and I said in my podcast, who is your midwife? And at the end of the podcast, I said, Pastor Jerry is my midwife. Thank you for midwifing me. God bless you. May the oil on your head never run dry. And may His presence remain with you. Ever abiding presence. What our God cannot do.
Listening to the testimony of this sister, you see that God works miracles, and the miracles of God brings peace, brings joy, brings happiness. It's not with conditions. So you watching, to you listening, I want you to know that you will testify at the end. Keep trusting God, keep praying, keep believing, and don't give up. God is still interested in your own matter, in your own case. I want to say to you in Pastor Jerry's easy voice, congratulations, and you will carry your evidence. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, share your own testimony, comment and share. See you on my next one. Remain ever blessed.